There we go.
Hello.
Okay, I see you now.
It's good to be seen.
Hello there. How are you today?
Oh, having the best day ever.
Tell me about
Life
it.
is good.
I love that.
Life is good working with these energies. And it's
Yeah,
good to see you once again. Glad you wanted to hook up once again to share our experience and to help others or just
yeah.
to share with others.
I love having conversations with you. So I'm getting used to these lives. So yeah, uh, thank you for being here again. So yeah, how
All
was
right.
your day? Seeing you on the waterfalls, I've seen you everywhere. You are having a good time now. Africa.
Oh, yeah. Like we said, being on this journey is one thing just to travel. I'm glad I have this holistic lifestyle message as I'm traveling because it's highlighted 100%.
Mhm.
Most people
Mhm.
can't go from one point to another. Okay, you got that. But when you are in your body and you know how energy works, it highlights the whole journey 100 fold. And I
Wow.
got to say that because I've been on both sides. I'm on the side where my body's highlighted now, and I was once on the side where it wasn't, and I would not be having the time I'm having right now.
Wow. Can you explain that a little bit more?
Well, let's make it plain. Being in a healthy body, you could climb a mountain, for instance. If you wasn't healthy, because we that when we climbed that mountain and went down the waterfalls, it takes some type of health in order to do that. Now you still
Mhm.
could be here, but you'll just be watching other people, so you won't be having the same time. See, it's
Oh.
basic. It's basic. See, and I'm glad you started there.
Mhm.
When you're dealing with the journey, one thing I got to do to people when I'm teaching them is show them the basics. And once you got the basics, you never leave the basics. You
Okay.
keep the
I like.
basics. I'm still doing the basics right now when I first began. But people are looking for something real complicated. It got to be something hidden. It got to be some secret that I got to do this certain chant or move. And that's not it at all. It's all about the basics and you become good at it.
Mhm.
See, there was a
Yeah.
basketball player, Kobe Bryant, and somebody went to go watch his basketball practice. Now it's just a practice,
Mhm.
but they're thinking that they're going to see all of this secret stuff he's going to be doing because he's a world superstar. But they were surprised to see he was just doing basic drills,
Mhm.
basic drills. And they asked
Yeah.
him about it. And he said, well, this is why I'm a world superstar. I mastered the basic skills, and by me still practicing them, this is what makes me good. I just got stronger in it. That's what make
Yeah.
your game look easy. The
Yeah.
basics.
I love that. I love that. So it's not like reaching somewhere or doing anything complicated. And I know exactly what you mean that people just look for the complex. It's super easy. You know.
It's super easy,
Yeah.
especially when you see somebody do something differently that the rest of humanity doing. But
Mhm.
all they do is did was, well, they might have their genes might be in their favor. They might have some talent, on the subject, but that
Mhm.
only takes you part of the way. Yes, it
Mhm.
does. It does take you part of the way. But then you need a good mental conditioning. Because if you don't have the mental conditioning, you're really not going to go nowhere.
Mhm. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. I love that.
Mm-hmm. And
Yeah.
see, I put a post on social media a couple of days ago about, okay, I specialize in Qigong. And I put, okay, I've been doing it for 20 years, at least once a day, at least. I ain't even count the retreats and all this other stuff on my own, doing 2 to 3 times a day. I just did once a day. So I
Mhm.
came up with the number of 7,300 sessions
Okay.
just practicing holding Qigong. That's time and energy and effort. And
Wow.
when somebody, and see, when I first started,
Mhm.
I didn't have that in my mind. I'm gonna do this many sessions, and over 20 years, I'm gonna have this. I didn't know where it was going. I didn't even know I was gonna stick with it. But since where
Mhm.
I'm at now and I'm doing this calculation, man, I put a lot of mileage on this machine.
Yeah.
Of course, it's
I
behaving differently.
I love that. I love that. That's why I always describe the body a car, And it's like
Mhm.
depending on what kind of oil that you put in, that's how far it takes you. So if you put wrong oil, right, wrong gas, how long will it
Right.
take you? How far? Yeah,
Oh,
I love that.
absolutely. And going back to the basics, here's a definition: the essential facts or principles of the subject or skill. Whatever you in, this knowledge works the same way with everything. I don't care if you're learning music, a certain type of sport, learning how to cook. The people who are successful is the ones who can understand the simplicity of the basics.
Yeah,
And then you grow from there.
yeah.
Sort of like
Uh,
when I'm teaching, now I'm just going to blow people's mind. Okay, I
mhm,
teach Qigong, and we know that that's a cultural Chinese word. Qi just means energy, life force.
mhm,
And same
mhm,
with the word prana. But
mhm,
I actually taught a class one time when I didn't use those two words. I just
mhm.
used life force energy. And people literally thought I was talking about something else.
Yeah.
Their mind could not make the connection. But we should be in the age, okay, I'm not from China. Why should I use the word chi? I speak English. That's my first language. It's life force energy.
I know what you mean.
And the thing
Yeah.
about the West, we got to
Mhm,
give the West credit. It
mhm,
has done, due to the scientific method, experiments on the energy. So it has the most in this closet of actually doing the experiments. That's why we
mhm,
got machines now that can see the frequencies coming off your body and all this other stuff. The West
mhm,
did that. So it ain't no
mhm,
separation. You know, the
mhm.
East, they had the message, but they didn't know in detail what electricity was.
Wow. Yeah.
So now we're in a more powerful age. Now we understand. See, the
Mhm,
reason I was so successful in India because I come from the West with a Western scientific mind to
mhm,
explain what you're doing.
mhm, mhm. I love
And
that.
it,
I love that.
and it was all basics.
Mhm, mhm.
We ain't got to go all fantasy with it. And then you'll
Yeah.
meet the God who will come out of and the angels come out. And it's the game people playing, and you're lying. That's why you have no results, no energy.
Oh my God. There's a lot of that going on for sure. And if I
Oh,
do, how long do I have to do qigong in order for me to feel some type of way? It's a
exactly.
practice that it's just a
And
practice.
and it's a lifestyle. Like I said, I had over 7,000 sessions on my journey. Now, when I
Mhm,
began, I didn't ask myself how long I need to keep doing this. I didn't
mhm,
even do
mhm,
it because of breatharianism. I did it because it was healthy. I knew the
mhm.
energy behind it. I understood it was simple, and it began to grow from there. And
Yeah.
the food, dealing with a practice, it started becoming uncomfortable. That's what we mean by natural.
Yes. That's why I always say the food will just fall off. You had to fix this. You
Right.
had to fix that. Yeah, it will fall off. When I started doing qigong, I didn't even know it was called qigong. I was just tired of sitting still. I was sitting still in meditation for so long that I needed to move my body. So then I started just to stand up and I start doing this and I start standing like this and you become qigong.
It
People call
become
it
qigong.
yeah.
That's why qigong is meditation. See,
Mhm.
that's the reason why I teach it first to people, because people don't know what their own energy feel like. Qigong is what, especially the standing like a tree. It's one of the
Mhm.
quickest methods for anybody to eventually feel their energy.
Mhm.
And you should feel that way in every meditation. So you hit a key point that people were saying they were meditating, sitting in positions, but weren't
Mhm.
feeling that. But
Mhm.
once you start exploring your body and feeling how that energy is supposed to go, any meditation after that, your body
Mhm.
should feel like that. That's what we mean by cultivating energy. Now you can start making it grow. But if you don't know what's going on and just sitting there trying to look cute, you ain't gonna stay there long. We might as well admit it. Your
Yeah.
brain looks for stimulation. Who's calling me on social media? I got to go do this. That's where your mind is at.
Yeah, you travel city, you travel too much and then that travel can become here. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So you got to put some time, effort in. And going
Mhm.
back to that, keeping the basics, another word for basics is simple. And
Mhm.
simple just means easily understood. You do got to understand the curriculum.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah.
And this isn't for everybody because the mental state is not there. They don't understand the curriculum.
Mhm. Mhm.
Like one guy tried to gaslight me, well, you teach pseudoscience. And I said, well, how could a holistic lifestyle be pseudoscience? Yeah, I don't understand that. You just can't see it. That's why you can't develop.
Mhm. Mhm.
You don't easily understand the basics. What are you
Yeah.
talking about? But then again, that word science is spooky to a lot of people because they don't know what it is. I could just hear how they talk. And they
Mhm.
don't know what it is, what it's about, how they experiment with themselves.
Mhm.
And it takes a person who is going for the long haul to have that type of mind. A
Yeah.
lot of people have instant gratification.
Yeah. Everybody wants to ascend without grounding.
Oh,
That's
without a doubt.
yeah.
Oh man.
Too many people. Like, okay, how many days should I fast? You just where are you going? First find out what do you want from fasting? Why do you want to fast? You know,
Exactly.
they have to
I
ask them.
remember one time I had a class where after I got finished teaching the breath theory and journey,
Mhm.
everybody was like, well, this is stuff I already know. See, I told you it was basic and simple.
Mhm.
But at the same time, why weren't you doing these things before? The only
Mhm.
reason why you came here because you heard you could be food free.
Mhm. Wow.
You ain't doing it because of the love of the delight, the
Mhm.
love to develop yourself, human development.
Mhm.
You got
Mhm.
other things in your
Yeah.
mind.
But it's like
And if it,
also when you go into go ahead, go ahead.
oh, go ahead.
Yeah, when you go into this mindset of like food freedom, I just want to be free from food, you're already setting your mind that you're trapped by it.
You
You're
trapped
trapped
by it.
by yeah. So now you're creating the kind of like energy of trap. Now I'm trapped. I want to be free from food. But I see it as like learn how to connect with everything. Once you learn to connect with
Mhm.
everything, the food will fall off. The food will
Oh,
fall.
absolutely. It's way beyond the food. Just this morning, I was walking. And like I said, I've been in the game over 20 years.
Hmm.
I was just walking and I made a decision on the situation.
Hmm.
And I knew that was because I'm a meditator.
Mm.
I said, wow, I could think and make that type of decision. That just happened this morning
Hmm. You can.
because it was not emotional.
Hmm. Yeah.
The emotions got mastered. But the only way I can do that is through putting some time and effort in
Hmm.
meditation.
Yeah.
And everybody has an emotional body they got to deal with.
They.
Your a person's decisions is based on their emotions. We might as well admit it. So you'll never grow until you don't admit that there is an irrational mind up under this.
Hmm.
Instant gratification, fun, taking the easy way out. Now, there's nothing wrong with it, but know that it exists.
Hmm.
And once you know that it exists, that's
Hmm.
the first step of awareness.
Yeah. You can't be run by it though. It exists, but you can't live by it. And you have to,
Oh
that's
man,
why I always say, like, master. The only thing you need to master is your own body. Really.
your own body.
Your own body,
I like
nothing
how you
else
said
on
it.
the outside. Yeah.
I put a post on one time that said, when you're talking negative about somebody else,
Hmm.
your body thinks you're talking about it.
Oh.
It don't know the other person's body.
Hmm.
It's just like when I'm working with people. Ain't no as we're doing our different qigong and meditations. I don't know how your body feel. I don't live in it.
Hmm. Hmm.
I
Hmm.
got to count on you to
Hmm.
give me the right input so I could try to work with you and you work with me and all this stuff. I know how I feel.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is my responsibility. So
Hmm.
your body don't know nobody else's body.
Yeah. But it is true though, Elitom, that if you have the intention or if you can really talk about someone else's body, then you are just talking about your own body.
Exactly.
Because there's
That's all
no
your
way
body.
you could, yeah, there's no way you could talk about somebody else's body with if you are feeling like okay with yourself. It doesn't even make sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. When
Yeah.
everything's up and flowing, you ain't even talking negative about nobody else because you're busy with yourself.
Yes. Exactly. Exactly. And
You
you won't
too
even have that
busy.
intention. You won't have that intention. It doesn't even make sense. Like you can't be busy on someone else. That's like a waste of time. You're wasting the time that you could use on yourself.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
again, that is emotional thinking, usually which is jealousy and envy,
Hmm.
because that person's triggering you because you could be doing the same thing.
Mm.
Or you might can't do the same thing. That's
Mhm.
because a person who can do the same thing you can do, what's the reason for them to get jealous of you for?
Yeah, yeah. Like you said, you have to work with the emotions. You have to work with those emotions. It's and also, yeah, just having that intention. You're not aligned with yourself. You're really
Oh,
not aligned
exactly.
with yourself. Yeah.
And the emotional body, if we call it that, is the toughest body to work with. You
Mhm.
know, we got our four bodies: the physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual, but they're all one. They
Mhm.
affect one another. So that's
Mhm.
why when I first started this message, people saying, "But you're just starting out physical. You're working with the physical body." Now, keep in mind that humanity came out of a drought where the
Mm.
body don't mean nothing in spirituality. I'm gonna
Yeah.
die and go somewhere else.
Mm. Yeah, that's true. That's
We
true.
did.
Yeah.
I know because I was affected by it.
Mm.
Till I had to say, wait, something wrong with this picture. I'm
Mm.
about to get taken up out of here due to ignorance.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm.
So now we took responsibility for it, and we all could see it because we all got one. So
Mhm.
therefore, it's automatically working with the emotions, the mental, and the spiritual
Mm.
all together. This
Yeah,
is it.
they all together.
That's the
Yeah.
unity frequency.
Yeah.
People can't catch that. It's simple, but we
Mhm.
do not have to make it harder than what it really is.
Yeah.
Oh, it
Like we
takes a
talk
lot of energy
about.
to sit there on your own, self discipline, to go meditate for some minutes
Mm.
every day,
Mm.
consistent, growing. That
Mm.
takes a lot. It ain't
Yeah.
easy. Life
But when
ain't
it
waiting on
becomes a
you.
habit, when it becomes a habit, and you make it into a habit, your body will actually just ask for it. Your body will just automatically do it.
Absolutely. And physically, the gray matter in your brain will start getting stronger.
Mm-hmm.
Your energy channels will get stronger. So it will crave it. But
Mm-hmm.
again, that's time and effort.
Mm-hmm.
Sticking with it because those other habits, they're still there too. We got to admit it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Mm-hmm.
man, until they fully get redirected.
Yeah.
And that
Yeah.
could take, depending on each person who's different, depending on what habit you got,
Mm-hmm.
it could be stronger on one person than another. That's just the reality of
Yeah. Everything is a
it.
habit. Everything is a habit. It's just.
Right. Everything's a habit,
Mm-hmm.
which we call karma. And notice when we use that word karma, people want to think of negativity,
Yeah.
but it
Punishment.
isn't negativity. It just is.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's a habit. You're either going to have good positive habits, or if you got positive habits, why get rid of them?
Yeah.
Now, this is the keto. How about if you got a positive habit that you think is positive? Uh
Mm-hmm.
oh. And you don't know it's a blockage. That's the big one.
Mm-hmm. That's why
And a
you
lot of
shouldn't name
people
it
is
positive and negative.
and
It's
a
all.
lot of people could get caught into the food game because it became another religion.
Mm, I
And
know.
that is actually a blockage, and they think it's not. But I
Yeah.
can't say nothing. You have to go run your own course.
Yeah. I say that a lot. It becomes a blockage because now you created these restrictions. Right now
Yeah,
you're restricting yourself, and it's all about
right.
like finding the flow, and you haven't find the flow if you're still restricting yourself. So
Exactly. And what
yeah.
we're saying is, of course, it might serve you in this season.
Hmm.
It's serving you in this season. Nobody's arguing that. But
Hmm.
don't act like it's the new doctrine and you put a roof over yourself and that's going to bring you all the way to the higher heights of levels of energy. No,
Yeah.
it's not.
Yeah.
Some things you eventually going to have to come into terms with and let go. That's what we mean by, okay, this thing, it did serve me, but now
Hmm.
it's a blockage.
Hmm. Hmm.
So we look at all these food gurus, and I'm going to call it, they had some good information, but they
Yeah.
did die prematurely. We might as well admit it. Now, you could try to get a conspiracy theory. Oh, the government killed them. They ain't do nothing. The government don't care if you go eat apples every day.
They told you to eat apple every day. I stay away from apple just because of that.
Right. I mean, we got to be real with it. So
Yeah.
even on that level, you just take the good things they put out, but that don't mean everything they said out of their mouth was clear.
Hmm. Hmm.
I mean,
Hmm.
they knew how their body felt at the time. They should have came back and told you, hey, everybody, all right. This is
Yeah.
hurting me now. I told y'all it was good.
Ah, it's all about, keeping yourself empty. Really. It's not
Right.
it's not restricting, it's not like creating another drama or creating it's, something else, but it's all about being sober. I always say just be sober, and sober from all extra stimulations. How can you manage that without creating another problem? So yeah, too many people are creating too many things every time. But hmm
Your mind so open that your brains fall out. All right. Now, now this year started off, and I did delete quite a few people, from ignorance. I can't have that right now
hmm
because there is some things that the facts is there. We came a long way, and that's how we do as humanity. This works, this don't, and those things that are working. You, like I said, you could experiment and test it on your own to
hmm
see does it work,
hmm
and you're unwilling to do that
hmm
to stick with that ignorance. I
hmm
I, I can't deal with that. No.
Yeah,
And of
you can
course,
test
they
and
try
experiment.
to gaslight me and say, "Oh, well, you're supposed to be food free and just listen to everybody." And no, I don't. That hurts to listen to something that ignorant. That's taking my energy away.
It's if people only knew it's not about food freedom. It's about being just free in general, just being free. Food is a fraction of this, but I think that
That's
people's
so
biggest
funny.
problem is food.
Food and sex. Those are two biggest ones.
Wow.
Food and sex. Because we're here because of sex. That's
hmm
powerful.
hmm
That's what animals do. Go watch The Wild Kingdom. All you're gonna see is sex and chasing food and killing something. All through the documentary. We're animals, we might as well say it. What you think humans doing?
They're doing the same thing, less sophisticated.
I'm in the place now where there's children all over the place. How did they get here? Got a big population.
Yeah, I was thinking about it the other day actually, how we just reproduce ourselves. It's ridiculous
How
to
can
think
we
about
what?
it. Reproduce ourselves like humans. How we reproduce ourselves, meaning like how we just give birth over and over. People just giving birth and then we're eating and then we're giving birth and we're eating and
Passing on the genes, passing on the information. Yeah, it don't quit.
yeah, we're
Now on a
just
higher
cloning
level, we
ourselves.
say we all one entity, sort of like the cells of your body.
Mhm.
One die off, but they actually reproduce a new cell. So
Mhm.
that's why they say your body is sexual. When I
Mhm.
say a healthy body is a sexual body, that means it's regenerating or reproducing good
Mm.
offspring. We're never the same.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah, but if you only knew that we are just cloning ourselves. Like if I have a
Yeah,
baby, I just cloned my genes. I just gave this person a body of my genes.
yeah,
That's it. We're
that's
just
it.
recreating the same gene over and over and over again.
Over and over again. That's the unity frequency. And the
Yeah.
thing about the cells of the body, they work in altruism.
Mhm. Mhm.
The
Mhm.
weakest one gives itself up for the whole.
Wow.
So our whole makeup is already like that.
Hmm.
We realize it or not.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so much to understand about it. Human behavior, really.
What's
Uh,
that again?
Human behavior, how we
Oh,
behave.
yeah. Well, I do got to say this being on this journey, if you want to go to the higher levels, not only are you going to learn more about biology, you're going to learn more about chemistry, and you're going to learn more about human behavior, like you said. I,
Mhm.
I mean, it's a must.
Yeah.
This isn't no just put on your blinders and the angels and your ancestors going to guide you. You need to know some things.
There's no such thing. There's no such
Right.
thing that's gonna come and just guide you and take you away from here and this. You need to accept being here. You
You
know.
got to accept being here.
hmm
And this, we're in the age of so good information. You can learn the proper information. You got to sit through it a little bit because there's a lot of stuff out here. But like
hmm
they say, we're in the age of information, but there's so much knowledge out here you could get drowned
hmm It really is.
because all of it ain't good. Nobody's arguing that.
hmm hmm
Oh man. But that's why you got to test it.
hmm
If it's not working for you, let it go and go with the next one. And I
Exactly.
mean,
Exactly.
this is why I'm teaching about the basics. The basics, you really can't go wrong. It
hmm
is what it is.
hmm hmm
I mean, we're bipedal creatures. You're up and down. You're breathing. Your intestines here. Your diaphragm is coming up. This is why I say the breath theory and knowledge is working with the laws of physics.
Hmm.
Now, when I say that, that's why I brought up biology, chemistry, and stuff like that. And people saying, Elitom talking like that. This is spirituality. It's true.
Oh
Your
my
body
goodness.
works with physics every day. And this
It's
is
so,
why I don't go for people's stuff with their fantasies.
if you gave it different words, maybe they would understand.
Yeah, you'd be surprised on some of the stuff people try to get away with. I might not even repeat it. It'll make my energy go down.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
But when you learn more about yourself and how these laws work, these
Hmm.
rules, because in
Hmm.
spirituality, we think we're supposed to break the law, go above the law. I heard people say that. But what I say to them, you already been doing that. That's the problem.
Yeah. It's when you say like the basic, it's basically some people want to be a tree, but they don't want to plant the seed. It's
Right.
like you have to plant the seed and you have to watch it grow and you have to wait and it takes it's a work.
Oh,
But
exactly. And I'm glad you said that. They want somebody else to do it.
hmm.
Now, I know we on this big thing on the planet now dealing with fruits and vegetables. That is good for the body. But
Hmm.
somebody got to go out in the field. It sure
Hmm.
ain't the people who's talking about it.
Yeah, that's true. I never
And
actually
I've
thought
been in
about
these
it that
third
way.
world countries, and I see the people out in the field. That's just another form of slavery for the person that's talking. We all need to get fruits and vegetables. Well, go get out in the field then.
I
I'm
think actually
sorry.
what
This is how I talk.
but that's the truth. I feel like people just leave one habit and catch another one. So whatever, if you overconsume fruits, it's just another addiction. You know.
Another addiction. Now I'm glad you brought that up. Going from one habit to another. So
Hmm.
I got this group that I'm teaching, and I even told them the dangers of too much meditation, too much qigong, too much fasting. See, there's
Mm.
dangers in everything. So even though it could be a good thing and you could use it for its best potential,
Hmm.
if you overdo it, you still can hurt yourself.
You can.
Trying to move your energy up too fast, breaking up traumas, or you're not ready for it. That's some real stuff.
It really is. Anything too much is just bad. That's why we have to
And
find
I
that
seen,
balance.
and like I said, being on this journey, I see many people hurt themselves with these practices that's supposed to be good, but they overdid it.
Wow. Wow.
But they don't have the right mental state
Hmm.
again.
Hmm. Yeah.
Oh, this is something.
Yeah. It's true. Anything too much is bad.
Anything too
Anything.
much is
Yeah. You can
that's
sit still
that's
and
why
say,
you
I'm
want to
just gonna
start with the
meditate.
basics and always realize that you're going to grow gradually and slowly.
Hmm.
And like I said, I've been on this journey 20 plus years. I got to throw it in. Yeah. Am I proud of it? Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. You should be. You should be.
Right.
Yeah.
So I know now I can't go for that. Somebody just one day went into a phone booth like Superman or Superwoman and came out and transformed. Nah,
And you don't have a destination, it's
don't
just
have a
ongoing.
destination.
Yeah, me
All
too.
we're doing is cultivating, cultivating. I want to keep seeing the tree grow.
Hmm. Yeah. And that's the fun part of it. How can
That's
you
the
grow
fun
this
part of it.
time? Yeah, how can you grow this time? What kind of fruit came up from it? What?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's the fun part of it. It's not like, okay, when am I gonna take off? If you're still gonna wait to ascension,
Right, right.
where am I gonna go? Where am I gonna go? You will still be lost.
And there was one scientific paper said something real good. The people got to come into grips with this, especially from the West.
Hmm.
Um, this knowledge dealing with bioenergy, we're going to use that word. Uh, the bioplasma, dealing with the water that's in the body. And well, anyway, this knowledge is new to the West.
Hmm.
But people got to realize that their body's not strong enough yet, even though you can wrap your head around the information. This is
Mm.
why you got to work with it. See,
Yeah.
one thing you do got to wrap it around your head till you can see it, okay?
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
you do got to work with it
Yeah, absolutely. Until it sinks. Until
until
it,
it's sink on in.
yeah.
And that's a big thing for people's ego, and I can see it. You got
Mhm.
somebody who been in a holistic game probably for 20 years, but they didn't know this. And they've come to find this, and it's like, man, I got to start over. So a
Wow.
lot of people refuse that. That's
Mhm,
that's some real stuff.
mhm, mhm. But you can be stuck if you're doing the same thing. Like 20 years, you will think that you developed a lot. But if you were stuck to an idea or wanted to reach somewhere, you will still stay there for 20 years.
You will.
Yeah, you will
You
stay
will
in the
not
same
pass
place.
go.
Yeah.
The universe don't care. Oh, let's
Mm.
give him a free pass. He's been dedicated at least there. It don't care.
That's why change is so good because of those 20 years. You would think like the person is just changing, changing, changing. You're transforming somehow, within.
Right.
So, yeah, 20 years means
Right.
something shifted.
Yeah. And then you got another level and another level. But how do you go to the next level? Like I said, you can have gifts, talents, all of this. But this mindset does have to be a certain way.
Yeah.
You have to look at where you're at with the basics
Hmm.
and start tweaking them even further. Not too far,
Hmm.
blow yourself out the water,
Hmm.
but just enough, sort of like getting a good yoga stretch.
Yeah.
What's the use of me trying to do this and get more flexibility if I'm only stopping right here
Mm,
every day?
that's
I ain't
true.
even giving no challenge.
Yeah.
At least give it a challenge. Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. People like to be comfortable in one place, but then at the same time, they want to head somewhere. They want to go
Oh,
somewhere.
absolutely. Un momento. Uh-oh. I do got to get ready to go.
Okay. That's okay.
But this was good. We got a lot in.
Yeah.
Oh, man. You was ready to get me heated up here. But we got a lot in, though. Keep in mind, it's the basics again.
Mhm.
And the basics will take you far if you be dedicated and consistent.
Absolutely. Just be humbled right there. You don't have to go up anywhere. So yeah, I love that. But thank you so much, Elitom. Thank you for taking
La
your time.
la. All
And
right. Peace and
till next
blessings.
time. All right.
La la la.
Bye.
La la la.